everyone, Blind Press here, back with another rant, and today we're going to talk about internalized ableism and why it's a bunch of bullshit. I come at blindness from pretty much a whole lifetime of experience, and I think a lot of people who are disabled for their whole lives or for a good chunk of their lives tend to forget there are people that come to say, well, we'll use blindness for this because it's what I know. People who come to blindness later on in life, and they may not be ready to just boom, act blind. And yes, I am going to say act blind because blind people do things that are a bit different from sighted people. We use a cane or a guide dog. We have to adapt and do things a little bit differently than a sighted person may do. So that takes some adjustment. Now, it is not okay if they aren't quite ready to pick up a white cane. It doesn't mean that they're ashamed of being blind. It means that they're still coming to terms with the fact that they're losing their sight. And you know what? Maybe they don't want that stigma of being blind and dealing with the pity that I know for sure that I've dealt with. They're not ready for that. Does that mean that they're ableist against themselves? No. It means that they're a human being coming to terms with the fact that they're losing one of the senses that they've always had. So you know what? Cut them some fucking slack, okay? And it's also ridiculous to accuse a totally blind person who's been blind their whole life of internalized ableism when they say that when they were children they didn't like using their cane. Not everyone goes to a school for the blind where it's perfectly normal to use a cane everywhere you go. Not everyone went to a school for the blind and was told that they have to use their cane so that their peers know that they're blind and that they're coming. Not everyone went to a school for the blind where if somebody walked into something, just what happened. Some of us went to public school. Some of us had to be teased and deal with our sighted peers and be told that we have to use our canes so that our sighted peers know that we're coming and so that they don't accidentally hurt us if they're not paying attention. Some of us had our canes stolen from us by sighted kids. Some of us just weren't ready to embrace the fact it's a tool because all the sighted teachers I had told my sighted peers that I was blind. It's a marker. It helps people identify that you are, yes, in fact blind. But it is more of a tool to help a blind person. And that is what I should have been told. It's not what I was told, and it's something I had to learn. It's something I had to come to grips with. And you know what? That's not ableism either. That's not internalized ableism either. That's growing up, okay? That's called being a kid and learning a lesson. It is absolutely bullshit for blind people to call internalized racism on other blind people that they haven't even met in person. They have no idea of their life story. They don't even know whether somebody's been blind or not their whole life. And they're gonna sit there and call internalized race or internalized. Do you see? I almost said internalized racism because it's such a fucking buzzword. Nobody even knows what internalized ableism is because it's different for everyone. Discrimination happens in different ways to different people. It's mind-boggling how discriminatory we can be to each other. Oh, what's that? You haven't been blind your whole life? You don't want to use a cane yet? Oh, you're just ableist. How dismissive is that? There's an opportunity for people to be like, oh shit, how can I help you navigate this thing that's happening to you? I have some experience in it. No, fuck it. We're just gonna throw people under the bus. Fuck them. We had a hard life. We got treated like shit by sighted people and other blind people, but you know what? Let's carry on the cycle. Fuck this person. Fuck what they're going through. You know what? Sometimes feels do matter, and this is one of those times. I am all for facts. I am all for, learning and embracing facts and really trying not to go over feels for reals here. But you know what? Sometimes feels do count. And especially when you've been there and you know what it's like and you just continue the cycle. You're no better than what you're claiming. It's just as ableist to say that you are internalizing your ableism because you don't want to conform to how I think you should be disabled. Fuck you. Fuck you and your conformity. Seriously.